Hello and welcome back to the Second Chance to Live channel here on YouTube. I'm happy to see that you decided to stop by to watch this video presentation. Thank you. In today's video presentation, I would like to share the second part of a three-part article series that I wrote a little over a week ago. I create video presentations of my articles for individuals to learn better through watching and listening, as we all learn in different ways. To read the article, put my glass back on and bring up the article. I want to thank you for your time. You're an important part of my process, and I always enjoy our times together. Here's the article. Living with a traumatic brain injury, Am I Being Manipulated? Impact Part 2. If you've not already read or watched Part 1 of this article series, I would encourage you to do so at this time, in addition to watching Part 2 or reading Part 2. In my experience, I have found that pointing fingers in anyone's direction is of little value. Pointing fingers in other people's direction only keeps me feeling helpless and hopeless. Through my recovery process, I have heard and believed to be true. If nothing changes, nothing changes. I am powerless over what happened to me, but I'm not powerless over what I do about what happened to me. For this I am responsible. In my experience, I have become aware. Through becoming aware, I have grown in acceptance. And in my acceptance, I have come to realize that I have choices. These choices empower me to experience my life. In my experience, when I became aware, I realized that I could do something different. For many years, I was conditioned to buy into a core belief. After this core belief was established, a trigger was set to be tripped to get a desired response. The core belief was that I am responsible for other people's feelings, needs, and wants. In the belief system, I was conditioned to believe that I was responsible for other people's irritability, restlessness, and discontent. Consequently, if the people in my life were irritable, restless, and discontent for whatever reason, I was at fault. This conditioning led me to believe that if people were angry or upset with me, I needed to fix them. When I did not meet the expectation or expectations of people, I was criticized and blamed for not meeting their expectations. When I experienced criticism and blame, the previously set trigger, shame, was tripped. The trigger produced anxiety within me, which instigated my drive to comply in order to avoid being criticized, blamed, and shamed for not meeting expectations. With such repeated experiences of being criticized, shamed, and blamed for not getting it right, I strove all the more in an attempt to be perfect. In my striving to be perfect, I found myself enslaved by doing to justify my existence. And in the process, I became a human doing rather than learning how to be a human being. In my overdeveloped sense of responsibility, I strove to be perfect so that people would not be angry and upset with me. Doing became more important than being, as I sought to do more, to be enough. To do more, to be more. In my attempt to be enough, I engaged in a dance that perpetuated being manipulated. I did this dance with virtually everyone in my life. The dance went like this. If the people in my life were not okay, it was my fault. In my hypervigilance to arrest feeling like a mistake, I felt driven to make them okay, to fix their irritability, restlessness, and discontent so that they would not go away, to keep them from going away so that I would not lose myself. So what I did is I strove all the more in an attempt to meet their expectations, to make them okay, so that we could be okay, so that I could be okay, so that I would not lose myself. I engaged in this dance because I was led to believe that what other people thought of me was more important than what I thought about myself. I engaged in this dance because I did not know where other people ended and where I began as I lived my life. I engaged in this stance because I did not know how to be okay with myself. I engaged in this stance because I did not know how to have a relationship with myself. This is the end of part 2 of this article series. I will create the third part of this video series in the next day or so. Before I go, let me encourage you with this. Please do not give up on yourself, a loving God, or your process, because more will be revealed to us in time. The pieces of the puzzle will come together in the correct order and at the right time. I'll say so long for now. Have a great day, and God bless both you and your family. So long now.